Let's go Dolphins! What I just discovered is the kind of behind-the-scenes chaos that could completely turn this season upside down. This isn't an exaggeration, it's real. There are names on the injury report that should worry every fan, decisions being made that make no sense, and, once again, Chris Greer is right in the middle of it. The truth? It's worse than you think. But here's the thing, if you've been a Dolphins fan long enough, you know that feeling. That silence before the explosion. That moment when we're about to break or fall apart. Before I tell you everything, I want to know, are you one of the real ones? If you've been following this team through every rebuild, every disappointment, every fourth quarter collapse, then prove it. Hit the like button right now and comment, "Go, Dolphins! We deserve better." Let's flood this video with the voices of true fans who are tired of being patient. Because what am I going to reveal? It's the kind of thing they don't want you to hear. Let's go. The Dolphins are heading into a crucial Thursday night showdown in Buffalo against the Bills, and both teams are limping in with a load of injuries. But while Miami's injury list might be longer, it's the Bills who are dealing with more devastating absences. Buffalo will likely be without their two most important defenders, Ed Oliver and Matt Milano. That's not a hot take, that's just facts. Oliver has been a wrecking machine, especially in Week 1 when he tormented the Ravens' offensive line. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, he lands on the injury report with an ankle issue. And not just that, he's been seen in a walking boot. Let's be honest here, you don't just slap on a walking boot for a minor tweak. There's no way he's bouncing back in just 5 days to suit up against Miami. Matt Milano? Same story, different body part. He suffered a pec injury in the Bills' last game, and anyone who follows the league knows how serious those can be. Guys like Kancey and Daniels are out long-term with the same injury. Yet somehow Sean McDermott is out here playing cloak and dagger, saying Milano might practice Wednesday. Please, even if he does suit up, he won't be anywhere near full strength. You know it, I know it, and Mike McDaniel surely knows it. So what does this mean for the Dolphins? It opens a window, a small one, but a real one. The Bills' run defense has been garbage so far. Through the first 2 weeks, they ranked 31st in rushing yards allowed per game and 31st in rushing yards before contact per attempt. That means they're getting bullied at the line of scrimmage, plain and simple. And now they're without their best run-stuffing DT and linebacker? You do the math. And here's where things get spicy, because Miami's rushing attack has quietly been one of the most efficient in the league. 4th in rushing yards per play, 6th in success rate, 10th in EPA per rush. The offensive line, despite the injuries, has been getting solid push, averaging 1.85 yards before contact per attempt, which is top 10 in the league. That's where Aaron Brewer comes in. And here's the real anxiety for Dolphins fans. Brewer wasn't spotted in the locker room ahead of Tuesday's practice. He's been the glue of this O-line, especially in the run game. Brewer's a captain, a leader, and exactly the kind of athletic center this wide zone offense needs. Losing him would be a body blow, especially with James Daniels and Austin Jackson already out. Miami simply can't afford to go into this one with Daniel Brunskill starting at center. The good news? McDaniel says Brewer is doing everything in his power to be on the field Thursday night. He's reportedly pushing through, and the coaching staff feels optimistic. But this can't just be hope. It needs to be reality. Without Brewer, the whole offensive identity, one that should thrive against this broken Bills run defense, falls apart. And it's not just the offense that's facing question marks. The interior defensive line has been a straight-up disappointment so far. Zero pressure from the inside, for sacks total, mostly from the edge. The rookies? Still adjusting. Kenneth Grant hasn't popped. Jordan Phillips has been meh. Zeke Biggers got 6 snaps. Kaler got the most with 45. And Benito Jones? Still nursing an oblique injury and not guaranteed to suit up. Miami's run D hasn't been able to step up when it matters, and if Benito can't go, it'll be more of the same. Matthew Butler did great out as the best of the bunch against New England, but let's not kid ourselves. This interior group needs to make a jump fast. The pressure on the edges won't matter if QBs can just step up comfortably in the pocket. Because here's the deal, the Dolphins can't afford to waste this moment. Buffalo is vulnerable, and not in a well, maybe we'll find a mismatch here or there kind of way. No. This is one of those rare times where the Miami Dolphins, despite all the chaos and all the inconsistencies, are walking into a high-stakes game with the clearest path to victory they could possibly ask for. The opposing defense is missing its 2 key players, they're already bad against the run, and their morale is shaky after barely surviving against the Jets. But it all hinges on whether Miami has the guts and the discipline to stick to the game plan. Not just script the run game for the first 2 drives, but really commit. I'm talking about old school, smash mouth, clock-eating football. Control the pace, control the field position, and make Buffalo beg for the game to end. If Mike McDaniel wants to prove he's more than just a creative play caller with a flashy offense, this is the game to do it. He needs to impose his will and outcoach McDermott. Let's zoom in on the run game again, because you've got Ollie Gordon looking more and more like he can carry the load. He's physical, he runs downhill, and against the defense missing Milano, he could thrive in those A and B gaps. Mix and Devin Achane with his explosiveness, and you've got the makings of a thunder and lightning combo that could punish Buffalo's defense for 4 straight quarters. Don't forget Alec Ingold, the fullback who gives this offense a real punch in heavy formations. Get him involved. Use motion. Create leverage. Keep the Bills off balance. Now flip the script. Defensively, there are still glaring concerns. The lack of pressure from the interior has made life too easy for opposing QBs. The edge rush is doing its job. Bradley Chubb, Chop Robinson, Jordan Brooks have combined for all the sacks so far. But you can't let quarterbacks step up into a clean pocket all night long. That's exactly how you lose to Josh Allen. The absence of Benito Jones is hurting, no doubt. And while guys like Matthew Butler are starting to flash in limited reps, it's not enough. The rookies, Kenneth Grant and others, need to grow up fast. It's week 3. This isn't the preseason anymore. Miami needs these big bodies to clog up lanes and, at minimum, hold the line of scrimmage. If not, Allen is going to feast on broken plays and play-action shots. And then, suddenly, it won't matter how many injuries Buffalo has. That's what elite quarterbacks do. They capitalize when you give them even the smallest opening. McDaniel and Fangio must find a way to dial up pressure creatively. Zone blitzes, delayed linebacker rushes, force Allen to throw off balance, make him uncomfortable, and, this is key, finish plays. No missed tackles, no lazy pursuit angles. If Josh Allen starts running wild, it's over. And speaking of coaches, it's time we talk about Chris Grier again. Look, everyone knows how the fan base feels. The man should have been out the door seasons ago. Too many misses, too many holes still on this roster. We're talking about a team with playoff talent that's still patching up the offensive line every damn week. And why? Because Grier thought he could outsmart everyone with value signings and hoping injury-prone players would miraculously stay healthy. It's tiring. James Daniels, Austin Jackson, and potentially Aaron Brewer, that's 3 starters on the offensive line either out or questionable. And you're telling me the backup plan is Daniel Brunskill? The same Brunskill who couldn't hold up in preseason reps? That's on Grier. No one else. And the fans know it. But for better or worse, this is the team Miami has. And if there's ever a moment to prove this roster can still punch with the heavyweights, it's Thursday night in Buffalo. No more excuses. No more, well, we had injuries. So did they. And their losses might even be more critical. We've got the better quarterback right now. The better offensive scheme. The healthier skilled players. And an opportunity to expose one of the worst run defenses in the league. But it all depends on execution, and whether this coaching staff can finally get the most out of this roster when it counts. Dolphins fans, you've seen this story before. We've had the hype, the momentum, only to fall short in big games like this. So the question is, do you believe this team can finally flip the script? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We've got more Dolphins content on the way, including film breakdowns, post-game reactions, and insider reports. Click one of the videos on your screen now, and I'll see you in the next one. Go Dolphins!